While we're talking about the street, it's not looking all that good for the market today. In fact, not looking good at all, because we're almost at the lowest point of the trading session right now. A 1.3% cut coming in on the Nifty 50. We're barely being able to stay afloat that 22,250 level. It's a very sharp cut coming in today's trading session. Sensex also 950 points lower, a 1.3% cut coming in over there. India Wix has spiked up 1%. Nifty Bank also following the benchmarks, a 0.6% cut coming over there. Let's take a look at what the broader markets are doing in today's trade, and as expected, the cuts are deeper here. Nifty mid cap is lower by 2.3%. Let's see what the Nifty small cap index is up to in today's trade. In tandem with the mid cap, a 2.2% cut coming in on the Nifty small cap index as well. Barely any of the Nifty 50 stocks are holding in the green, apart from Coal India, Axis Bank, Reliance and HDFC Bank to some extent. On the flip side, big losers on the street from the Nifty pack today: Tech, Mahindra, InduSInd Bank, Wipro, Maruti Suzuki, Infosys, HCL Tech, TCS, with cuts of anywhere between 3.5% and 5.5%. Advance decline ratio very steeply in the favor of the declines. You only have some 260 stocks in the advances right now, and more than 2,300 stocks in the declines right now. So that's basically almost 10 times the stocks in advances compared to the ones in declines. Let's take a look at sectoral moves right now. Everything is in the red. All sectors are trading in the red. Biggest cut coming in on Nifty IT, a 4.2% decline coming in on that index, followed by Nifty Auto, Media, FMCG, PSU banks, Pharma, Metal, Realty, Energy. That's the pecking order from most to least losers in today's trading session. That is what the market construct is looking like right now. Cheryl, not looking all that good.
Absolutely not looking good at all, Snehi. And like the way you mentioned about the markets, yes, so we are bleeding. Broader markets are bleeding a bit more than the benchmark indices. But let's bring on board all of your stock-related queries. And we have our experts today joining us. We have Kunal Parar, who's joining us from Choice Equity Broking, and Rupak Dey, who's joining us from LKP Securities. Very good morning, gentlemen. And remember, viewers, this is a show where you get answers for all of your stock-related queries. You can write to us on the WhatsApp number that will be flashing on your screen. And do remember, each time you write to us, mention your name, the stock that you're looking to invest in, mention that name as well, along with the buy price, the quantity and the time horizon. With that, our experts will be able to help you better. And today, we have two techie guests, which means it's a techie special episode of Buy Now, Sell Now, which means that all of your stock-related queries for the short to medium term will be answered by both of our experts. Once again, good morning, Rupak, as well as Kunal. And let me start taking queries. The first one that I have is coming in from Ganesh. He's writing to us from Bangalore. Ganesh, he's writing to us from Bangalore. Mahindra and InduSInd Bank wants to know whether we can go ahead and buy this counter right now for the long term. Rupak, let me come to you and get your views coming in on Mahindra and InduSInd Bank on the charts. Do you think it's a right level to go ahead and invest in both of these counters?
Mahindra, the stock has reached to the bottom of the broadening wedge, and is finding support near previous swing lows. So around 2600, 2650 would be a good level to add, but he needs to add a stop loss below 2550. On the higher end, the stock, when it recovers, it might move towards 2800, 1000 in the short to medium term.
So that view coming in, Kunal, Rupa, coming to you. The second query is coming in from our viewer Vijay from Bengaluru. He's asking if it's good to buy Adani Green today. It's a very short-term view coming in. He's asking what is the target for the end of March. So just a 1 month view. Would you be able to help with that?
Yeah, are you asking to me?
Rupak.
So Adani Green has corrected significantly. So over the last 2-3 months, over the last 5 months, the stock has corrected significantly. And right now, the stock has not given any signal for a reversal. But we think after a significant correction, the stock might give a small pullback. So the stock can be bought for a small pullbacks or for a trading purpose. And a stop loss can be placed below 770, and on the upside, the stock might recover towards 920 in the short term.
This query coming from Tom Varghese, and he wants to know about Paytm. Kunal, he has about 400 shares of Paytm at a price of 904. He wants to know what's the view on this counter. Should he hold or exit? And I'm guessing that the fact that he's bought it at a higher level of at entry level for Paytm, given the fact that it saw very swift recovery from 350 levels to surpassing the 1,000 rupees level. I believe everyone expected this sort of a run to continue for Paytm, but last 3 months, the amount it's gained is also lost, 20% down in the last 3 months. What should our viewer do? Stay put with Paytm, be patient enough, or look to exit now?
Well, from my side, it's to hold for the stock as of now. 700 is a strong support. If stock is holding its 700 level, then we may see a further upside momentum in the counter up to the level of 840 to 960. So nothing to worry about this counter if stock hold this 700 level. Now, please maintain strict SL at 700 on a closing basis. If stock breaks this 700, then further downside would be there up to the level of 640 to 520. So please hold the stock as of now with strict SL of 700 on a closing basis.
Thanks for that view coming in, Kunal. Rupak, coming back to you, our viewer Subramaniam is writing to us from Chennai. He's got KPIT Tech. He's holding that with a 35% profit. He's bought this stock long back. He's asking, can I buy more at these levels, and will that lead to any short-term gain on the stock? What's the near-term outlook when it comes to KPIT Green?
So KPIT has recently fallen below its recent consolidation, and the stock is likely to move down further lower towards 1120 kind of level. So it will be good to add more the stock around 1150 kind of level, keeping a stop loss below 1070. And on recovery, the stock might move back towards 1400.
Let me take this next one actually coming in from our viewer Simran Soni. Wants to know about Titagarh. Titagarh makes sense to buy right now. 50 shares at a price of 1,145 rupees per share. Does it make sense to go ahead and average this one? Kunal, what's your take coming in on this? Does it make sense to go ahead and buy Titagarh? So you average it out at these levels?
Well, actually, I'm not recommended to go for average at present level. Right now, stock is trading at 700 level, and stock has already given a breakdown of its 775 level. We may see a further downside movement up to the level of 610 level. Now, that's the exit level where one can go for averaging their existing positions. So as of now, no. From my side, if stock falls up to the level of 610, then one can go for average.
So that's the view on Titagarh Rail. Rupa, coming to you. Next viewer coming in from our viewer Deepak Dave, who's writing to us from Gandhinagar and is a senior citizen. He's also a long-term investor. He's asking that he has 2,550 shares of Motherson Wiring at price of 40 rupees average. Should he average at this price or completely exit his holding right now? What's the outlook?
The stock has reached towards its previous swing low, and it is likely to find support around that level, like 45 would be the good support. He can hold, or he might add some stocks to his holding with a stop loss below 45. If the stock does not fall below 45 in the near to short term, the stock might move back towards 56 in the in next 1 or 2 months.
Let me take this next query. Our viewer has not mentioned his name. He has 500 shares of BEL at a price of 305 rupees per share. He wants a suggestion coming in from you, Kunal. What should he do with BEL? What's your take on this one? 305. And the problem, when you have markets falling and when it's below your buy price, a lot of viewers actually want to know, would it make sense to go ahead and average it out at these levels? And mostly all of our queries are about averaging, and also the queries are the ones that are putting both of you analysts on the spot as well, because I believe averaging may not exactly be the apt sort of move coming in a falling market, right?
Well, now if we talk about BEL, means our viewer has a position at 305 level. Right now, stock is trading at 247. So it's about obviously questioning every viewer's mind whether to go for averaging or should wait as of now, because all the viewers who bought who made a position in view of short term, now they all have converted into long term view. So if you talk about BEL, right now stock is trading at 247 as of now. From my side, avoid to go for averaging at present level, because for the downside momentum will be there up to the level of 220. And not only this, in long term we may see a good upside momentum in the counter, because government is proactively working on the defense part and defense export part. So we may see some good upside momentum in the counter during upcoming trading session, particularly mostly long term. If we talk about long-term fight, then again we can say 320 to 360. But if you talk about averaging, then avoid as of now. If stock falls up to the level of 220, where stock has a strong support, there one can go for averaging their existing position.
Thanks for that view coming in. On that note, we'll slip into a very short break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. But viewers, as we do that, you keep writing to us on the number that's flashing on top of your screen, and be specific about the stock you're holding, the time period you wish to hold the stock for, and the exact question that you have for both our technical analysts today. On that note, we'll slip into a short break and be right back. You stay tuned.
Welcome back. You join in ET Now. We are joining you live rather from ET Now Motilal Oswal studio, and this is Buy Now Sell Now, and where we are taking all of your stock related queries with our experts. Remember, we have two technical guests today on the show who are taking your stock related queries. We have Rupak there, as well as we have Kunal, who's taking your queries. And let me continue taking the queries that are pouring in actually. And let me come to you, Kunal, this time. This one is coming in from our viewer Megan, who's writing to us from Mumbai, and wants to know if it's a good time to go ahead and invest in NTPC Green for the medium term. I know it's a very recently listed counter. I'm very unsure if you will have any chart history to talk about it. Nevertheless, if you've covered it, would be great to get your view.
From my side, totally avoid. Right now, stock is trading at 88 level, down by 5%, and since last many week it has been trading in a downtrend only, and recently it has given a breakdown of its strong support at 110 level. So we may see a further downside movement up to the level of 75 to 72 level. So for short-term recommendation, I strongly no from my side. But yeah, but obviously, if anybody want to go for long-term, then this is the perfect level when one can accumulate the stocks.
View coming in, Kunal, Rupa, coming to you. Next question is coming from Mr. Subrata Mukherjee, writing to us from Kolkata. He's asking for your view on PNB Housing Finance. He's asking if now would be a good time to buy, and what do you make of this stock on the charts? What's the outlook going ahead?
So the stock has given a breakdown from its previous swing low on the daily chart, and on the lower end, the stock might extend its correction towards 740 kind of level. So 740 would be a good level to add the stock with a stop loss of 717. Once the stock falls below 717, you can exit the stock. However, if the stock does not fall below 717 or 720, the stock might move back towards the higher level. Towards 800 is a good level to book the profit. So it will be a trading peak, not an investment one.
That's the take coming in on PNB. Let me take this next query that is coming in from our viewer Manjunath, who's a senior citizen writing to us from Bangalore. And Manjunath has been holding Paradeep Phosphates for a long period of time, since the year 2022. The profit is excellent given the fact that the viewer has been holding for almost 2 to 3 years. Now the stock has actually come off its elevated levels. The viewer wants to know whether to stay put with this one or book our profits, which they're already holding on to it. He's saying that the profits is in excess of about 100% or so. Okay, 60%, approximately 60% upside is what the viewer has seen. What's your take on this one? Rupak, what should he do?
So he can definitely hold the stock with the stop profit level of 85. If the stock falls below 85, then he might book out his profit and wait for re-entry into the stock. Below 85, the stock might move down towards 74. Around 74, the stock would be good to re-enter with a stop loss of 69. Now, if the stock does not fall below 85, what might happen? The stock might move back towards 100 rupees in the short term.
So that's the view coming in. Kunal, coming to you, let's talk about IndiGo. That's what the next query is about. And in fact, before we address the query today, there's also a brokerage note on this where Axis Capital has upgraded the stock to a buy rating from an ad, also hiked the target price further to 5,540 from 5,100 earlier. Last 6 months, the stock has seen a cut of 7%. Let's just find out what the stock is up to in today's trading session, at least on the back of this positive brokerage note that we've seen. And today, that stock is not doing all that bad. It's almost a 1% gain coming in the middle market like this. It's in fact a brilliant performance coming in from Interglobe Aviation. Kunal, my question is, or rather our viewer's question who's writing to us, his name is Ignatius. He's writing to us from Kolkata, and he has bought 20 stocks of IndiGo at 4,177.5 rupees per share. He has held it for 1 year. He can afford to hold it for another 2 years, and he's asking if now would be a good time to add more at these levels. He's not looking to average. He's clarified he is sitting on a profit, but now would now also be a good time to keep adding to his holding is the question.
Well, from my side, yes, one can add, fresh position as well. Right now, stock is trading at 4,474 on a daily chart. It has been trading average to 200 days moving average. Not only this, during this Mahakumbh Prayagraj, I think more flights were there, and they always charging 10 times higher fare. So I think we may see some good upside momentum, particularly in terms of result as well in this Q1 25-26. So it will also boost its overall price level. So from my side, yes, one can go for creating a fresh position as well. At the present level, we may see a good upside momentum up to the level of 4,800 to 5,002 level in upcoming trading session.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Interglobe Aviation. Let me take this next query. This one is coming in from our viewer. I believe the viewer's name is James. James is written to us from Kerala. He has L&T in his portfolio, 25,000 shares of L&T at a price of 3,600 rupees per share. Kunal, what should he do with this one? Stay put with this one for the longer term?
Yes, definitely. From my side, please hold the stock as of now. Right, stock is trading at 3,185 level, and stock has a strong support at 3,100 as well. So we may see some kind of bounce back up to the level of again 3,400 to 3,600. And even the government is more focusing particularly on the infra side. So major beneficiary will be the L&T only. So please hold the stock with strict SL of 3,100. Upside momentum that we can see is up to the level of 3,600, and if stock breaks this 3,600, then further upside would be there up to the level of 4,000.
Thanks for that view in L&T. Rupak, coming to you. I'm not sure if you cover these stocks. Are these in your coverage? Bajaj Housing as well as NIIT Limited. Our viewers writing to us, not mention their name, would like to accumulate and hold for a 3 to 5 year time frame. Do you cover these stocks?
So exactly, I do not cover these stocks, but I can share my technical view on these stocks. So first one is Bajaj Housing Finance Limited. The stock is trading around its previous swing low on the daily chart. And if the stock does not fall below 104 on a sustained basis or on a closing basis, the stock might witness a recovery. And on recovery, the stock might move towards 120 in the short term. So I would suggest to hold the stock with a stop loss of 104. Below 104, the stock might move into the decline. Another stock is NIIT. The stock is in downtrend. It has a support at 108. Below 108, the correction might extend towards 100 rupees. So I think it would be good to exit below 108.
Moving on, then this next query that I have is coming in from Swati. Wants to know about CIE Automotive. 150 shares at a price of around 450 rupees per share, and some 10 shares of BSE at a price of 4,545 rupees per share. Kunal, what's your view on this one? She can continue to stay put with this for the next 2 years.
Well, if you talk about BSE, then recently we have seen a very good upside momentum in the BSE counter. No doubt since last 3 to 4 days, we have been seeing some downside momentum, but nothing to worry about this counter. Stock has been trading about 100 days, 200 days moving average. Not only this, on a weekly chart, stock has already given a breakout. So further upside momentum would be there. If you talk about long-term perspective, then first target we can see the 6,000, and stock breaks this 6,000, then 6,500 would be there. Now, as of now, stock is trading at 4,822, down by 6%. Further downside momentum would be there up to the level of 4,600. Now, now that's the exit level where stock can get a good support. So, if stock fall up to the level of 4,600, one can go for averaging as well.
What about CIE India then?
If you talk about CIE India, right now CIE Automating is trading at 373 level. Stock has already given a breakdown of its strong support at 400 level. We may see a further downside momentum in the counter up to the level of a 340 to 335. Exactly at that level, stock may get a good strong support. So as of now, please hold the stock. Do not go for averaging. If stock falls up to the level of 340, there one can go for averaging.
So that's the take coming in on BSE and CIE Automotive from Kunal. On that note, we'll step into a very short break. Viewers, keep writing to us and we'll be addressing all your queries on the other side of this short break with both Kunal and Rupak. Who'll be back with us. Hi there viewers, welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now. We're live to you from the Motilal Oswal studio and let's keep it going with all of your queries. We have Kunal and Rupak joining us back on the show. Thanks for staying on with us, gentlemen. And Rupak, coming to you now. Our next query is coming in from our viewer RK Ahuja from Ambernath. He has a 2-year time frame for the stock Aurobindo Pharma. He holds 200 shares at 1,178 rupees. Also holds 40 shares of Angel One at a rate of 2,828 rupees per share. He's asking now, would now be a good time to average or completely exit holdings in both of these stocks? If not, he can afford to hold for 2 years going ahead as well. So what's your view coming in?
Aurobindo Pharma has already corrected by about 33%, sorry, in the last few months. In fact, in the last 5 months. So, but we have further room for further correction, and the stock might move down towards 991,000 kind of level. And on the higher end, there is a resistance at around 1140. So I think the stock Aurobindo Pharma might remain weak till the time it is trading below 1160 kind of level. And on the lower end, 1000 looks possible. Around 1000, the stock can be added to this holding, and the stop loss can be placed below 940. For Angel One, I think the stock has given a rising trend line breakdown, and it is likely to move down towards lower level. I think 1880 kind of level looks possible from the current level. And till the time it is remaining below 2270 to 2300, the stock might remain into sale mode, and correction in the short term looks possible. So if he is holding the stock, he might reduce the stock below, he may reduce the stock below 2130. And around 1880, around 1900, he can add back the stock.
This next one is coming from Ramesh. He's writing to us from Coimbatore. He has about 1,000 shares of IIFL Finance, which he's purchased at levels of 409 odd rupees. He wants to know what are the technical indicators that he needs to watch out for this particular counter going ahead. He can hold on for a year or so. What's your take on this, Kunal? What should he do?
Talk about this IIFL Finance right now. Stock is trading at 309 level, and stock has a multiple support on a weekly chart at 300 level. So we may see some kind of bounce back in the counter up to the level of 370 to 418 level. So from my side, please hold this stock as of now. One stock has formed Hamburg candlestick formation on a weekly chart, so it is indicating some kind of bullish reversal momentum in the counter. So please hold this stock as of now with strict stop loss of 298 on a closing basis. Upside momentum that we can say it's a 380 to 418 in the upcoming trading session.
Okay, thanks for that view, Kunal. Rupak, coming to you, very interesting query coming your way. It's coming from a viewer, Mahalakshmi, who's writing to us from Hyderabad. She has initiated purchase on ABB since November of 2022 in small quantities. So every time she buys ABB, it's either in units of 1, 2 or at best 3 shares at a time. That's how she has built up her portfolio or holding when it comes to ABB. Now, after so much time, she's come to a total of 75 shares. She now holds 75 shares at an average price of 5,556 and continues to be in a loss. Would you suggest if she should continue her purchase strategy for the long term? Are better days for ABB? Do they lie on the charts going ahead? What's your outlook for ABB?
I think this thing can be done till the time the stock is remaining above 4,300. So around 4,500, the stock has a very good support. There is a concession level around 45 and 4,300. So till 4,500, she can average, and keeping a stop loss below 4,300. Below 4,300, the stock might become very weak, and she should consider exiting below 4,300. But if the stock does not fall further for much below 4,500, there might be a chance that the stock might move towards 6,600 once again in the short to medium term.
Venkat Jala, he is writing to us from Hyderabad, wants to know about Power Finance Corporation, 12,500 shares at a price is not given, and also yes, not mentioned the price of Power Finance, but did say that he also has about 500 shares of Coal India, which he's already made his good set of profit in this one. So now he wants to know whether he should exit partially from PFC, say sell about 2,500 shares of PFC and instead go ahead and buy Coal India from a good dividend yield and a long-term perspective. I know talking about dividend yield, both of you all would not be apt, would not be able to comment on that particular front, but talking about this entire move of offloading some shares of PFC and then put that money in Coal India, do you think it makes sense or no, Kunal?
It makes some sense, and right now Coal India is looking very attractive on a daily chart, trading at 373 level. Not only this, you know, right now stock has formed bullish ceramic candlesticks formation, and on an early chart it has been trading about 20 days, 20 early moving away. So even we can expect some capital gain as well in this counter. Now, not only this Coal India, it's good for dividend yield company, but right now if we talk about BPCL as well, then BPCL is also looking at is also looks very attractive on a daily chart, and it's also a very good candidate for a dividend yield paying company. So definitely means I would suggest to go for Coal India as well as BPCL if our viewer want to go for earning some good dividend as well as some good capital gain as well in upcoming trading session. So it's a good strategy to offload some shares from the PFC and divert that corpus to Coal India and BPCL.
The take on the stocks coming from Kunal. Rupak, coming to you, our viewer Dilip from Odisha is writing to us. 3 stocks he's holding. Ireda holds 50 shares, average price of 241. He holds Ircon International 70 shares at an average price of 267, and IRFC 50 shares at an average price of 163. These are mostly IRFC and Ireda are financing companies. His horizon is for the long term. He's asking what to do, average or sell.
So for IRFC, the stock has a very good support at 150. The stock falls below 150. He might consider reducing his holding in the stock, or might consider exiting completely. And in the case of Ircon, I think there is a support. There is a support at around 140. Yeah, the stock is trading near its support. So if the stock holds 140, there's a possibility that the stock might move back towards a 170 kind of level in the short to medium term. And if the stock falls below 140 decisively, then there might be correction. Holding with a stop loss of 139 would be prudent.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Ircon International. On that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking all of the stock-related queries, so don't go anywhere.
Hi there, welcome back viewers. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. Let's keep it going with all your stock related queries. We have Kunal and Rupak back with us on the show. Kunal, coming to you, our viewer Gyanendra is writing to us. He's asking for a long-term view on Hindustan Zinc and if now is a good time to enter into the stock after the recent correction. What's your view? Kunal, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Right now stock is trading at 394 level, and stock has recently given a breakdown of its strong support at 400 level. We may see a further downside movement up to the level of 340 to 350. Now that's the level where accurately one can go for creating a long position, particularly for medium term to long term. As of now, please avoid this because further downside momentum will be there up to the level of 340. It means 15 to 17% of correction still is pending in the counter.
Okay, next query is a long-term query coming in. Rupak, our viewer Murari Prasad is writing to us from Greater Noida. He's been holding 215 equity shares of Bandhan Bank at a buy price of 315 since the last 6.5 years. He's asking if he should continue to hold or he should exit the stock right now. And he's also holding 352 shares of NHPC at a price of 105 for a year. Now that stock has not done anything at all over the last 1 year, and that's NHPC we're talking about. What's your view on both of these names, Bandhan Bank as well as NHPC?
So if I talk about Bandhan Bank, the stock has corrected by around 70% since 2020 high. And currently the stock is showing initial signs of short-term recovery. I'm not saying the stock might recover completely and move into 400 kind of zone, but short-term recovery might be there. And if the stock manages to hold above 130, the stock might move towards 150 kind of level in the short term. Above 150, the stock might move towards 165 kind of level. So this kind of movement can be expected if the stock holds above 130. Can be held or can be bought with a stop loss of 129 for a target of 150.
Now coming back to you, our viewer V. Murli is writing to us from Bangalore. The stock in question is GE Shipping. He's bought 500 shares of GE Shipping at a buy price of 1,186 rupees per share. He's incurring a huge loss according to him. Well, yes, of course, the stock is at 818 right now. He's got it at 1186. What's the view going ahead? Do you believe this kind of recovery where, forget making a profit, even reaching break even is something that can happen in the near term for our viewer? Or should he just book his losses and exit?
Around 50% correction was there in the last several months, and the stock is likely to correct further. I think 750, 760 would be the better level as compared to current level to add the stock, and a stop loss would be there at 740. So with a stop loss of 740, the stock can be added around 760 kind of level for a upside recovery towards 850, 900 in the short to medium term.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on GE Shipping. Let's move on, and Kunal, coming back to you, let's talk about the next query that's coming in from our viewer Jayant, who's a senior citizen writing to us from Gurgaon. He holds 3,000 shares of Varun Beverages. He's asking if now is a good time to add some more to his holding. His average buying price was around 260 rupees per share. So what's the outlook going ahead for VBL?
Well, but obviously, our viewer is holding this stock for long-term purposes, and we may see a good upside momentum. If we talk about long-term purposes, right now stock is trading at 443. It has been trading below its 200 days moving average. So further correction would be there in the counter up to the level of 400 level. Right now stock is trading at 443. So we can expect 10% of correction from the present level. Now, this is not the level where one can go for adding more stock for long-term purposes. Please let it correct up to the level of 400 where stock has a strong support, and from that level we may expect some kind of bounce back again up to the level of 600 level to up to the level of 700. So as of now, please avoid this stock. If it approaches 400 level, at that level one can go for creating a fresh position, or he or she can add some extra shares in their portfolio.
Okay, well, that's the take coming in on Varun Beverages. But on that note, viewers, I'm afraid we're completely timed out on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. It's the end of all the viewer queries we could accommodate on the show today. But viewers, keep writing to us because we'll be addressing all of your queries same time on Monday as well. Kunal and Rupak, thank you so much for joining us. But with that, we'll wrap it up on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Stay tuned to ET Now because Markets at Noon is up next.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.